time for God?
Do I have time?
You got time for the Most High?
I got a little bit. What's wrong?
You got you believe in the Bible?
I do.
All praise to the Most High. Right now, if I had to ask you, what's your nationality?
What's my nationality?
Yeah.
I don't think too much about that, to tell you the truth.
So, if you had to identify yourself, what would you say?
What?
Like, who are you?
If I had to identify myself,
Yeah, like, who are you?
I would say that I'm black.
Black? Yeah. All right. But I was asking the question because, according to the Bible, that will happen. The Israelites will call themselves different names, right? Let me get to Isaiah 1 and 3.
Isaiah 1 and 3?
Yep.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse number 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider.
So the Most High said the ox know his owner. He know who he is. Right? Same way with the donkey, he know who his owner is. He know who he is. But he said, but Israel doth not know. Then he said, my people doth not consider. They don't care. So Israel, we don't know who we are. That's why we really don't know. We don't know who we are. We don't know our nationality. We call ourselves a color, which we're not a color. We're not black, right? We don't come from a crayon. We're better than black. When you look at the so-called black, African American, we're better than just a color. When you go to the term black, it deals with just evil. It deals with wickedness. Like you ever had like a black cat? You ever heard of a black cat? It deals with evil. It deals with witchcraft. So we're not black. That's terrible to call yourself black.
What about African American?
African American come from two so-called white people, right? Now when you dig into it, it comes from two so-called white people. So we don't come from two so-called white people.
So how would you identify yourself?
We the Israelites. The Lord said, but Israel, we the Israelites. Right? And how do we know we the Israelites? Can you get around 28?
Which verse?
28 and 15.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse number 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So this is what happened to the Israelites. This is why we identify as Israelites. But the Lord said it's going to come to pass, like it's going to happen in the future. It's going to come to pass, right? If you don't hearken or listen to the Most High God, go ahead.
To observe to do all his commandments.
So if you don't observe and do these commandments I'll give you, what's going to happen?
And his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the Most High said if we don't listen to the Most High God and observe and listen to these commandments, then all these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. The Israelites, mind you, right? So let's see some of the curses that will happen to the Israelites. This is how we know that for sure we the Israelites. All right, let's read the next verse.
Verse number 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So the Lord said the Israelites will be cursed in the city. When you look at the so-called African Americans or the blacks, aren't we cursed in the city? How do we live in the city?
Yeah.
Aren't we live in the ghettos and the hoods, in the slums? We're at the bottom of society. There's no way denying it. We at the bottom of society. When you deal with anybody else, like the Chinese man or the East Indian man or the Arab man, they're not living in the ghettos and the slums. You might have a few of them, but I'm really talking about a national level. On a national level, you go to any city you go to Chicago, you go to Detroit, you go to LA, you go to New York, you go to in Greenville, 5th Street, right down the street down there. We live cursed. We living with roaches and we could barely pay our bills. We struggling, we on food stamps, and we struggling, we going through it. The Most High God said the Israelites will be cursed in the city.
That's right.
And what else?
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And the Israelites will be cursed in the fields. We know what fields we was cursed in. The African Americans, what fields we was cursed in? You know about slavery?
Yeah, what field?
Cotton fields.
Cotton field?
Never heard of that?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, cotton fields. So we was cursed in the fields. Getting our backs beat in and beat from sun to sundown, right? This is what happened. This is being cursed in the city, man. We had chains in our necks. You ever heard of alligator bait? They had our babies, they fed our babies for bait to get alligator skin to make boots. This is being cursed in the city and being cursed in the field, right? We was hung from trees. This is being cursed in the field, right? We was beat from sun to sundown. Let's get you 2 more, 48.
Verse number 48.
Let's see what else will happen to the Israelites.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
Now the Most High said we will serve our enemies. The Israelite man, he gonna serve his enemies. And what?
which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger,
So we're gonna have to serve them in hunger. Whenever we're hungry, our stomach growling, we gotta go to our enemies for it. We don't own Samia cookies, or we don't own Food Line. We don't own Dollar Store. We don't own damn Walmart. We don't own anything. We got to go to them for it, for the one of everything. Go ahead.
And in thirst,
So whenever you're thirsty, the same thing, you got to go to them for it.
and in nakedness,
And when you want clothes, Nike, Jordan, whatever clothes you want, you got to go to them for it. Right? Go ahead.
and in one of all things.
And in the one, all things. Whatever the Israelite man he want, he got to go to his enemy for it. His people, what did the Most High saying? The Israelite man, he don't own nothing. He got to go to his enemies for everything. A license, a house over your head, a car, a loan. You got to go to your enemies for all these things. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed you.
And they had yokes of iron upon our neck until we destroyed. So destroyed that we're called ourselves a color.
Yeah.
We so destroyed that we're called ourselves African American. We so destroyed that we actually smoke blunts and destroy ourselves. This how destroyed we are now. Now our minds destroyed. So they let us go now. They let the teams go, but we destroyed. Now our mind is bad, right? We'll give you two more, brother. Get the fly. 54. 54.
54.
Yep.
Deuteronomy 28, verse number 54.
Another curse that happened to them.
So that the man that is tender among you, and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
So the Most High God said, the man that's most tender among you and very delicate. Now at one point in time, the Israelite man, we used to love each other. The Most High said the tender man that was amongst you, he used to love each other, his eyes gonna be evil toward his brother. That's why we got black eyes. That's why when we look at our brother, we look at him with an evil eye. That's why we hate each other. That's why we bang on each other. When we listen to our rap music, we're rapping about killing each other. That's all we rapping about. We're rapping about killing each other. We're rapping about how we gonna set up an office. How you got a switch. I got switches. Who does the brother got switches for? For his own brother. The other days they don't treat each other how we treat each other. They actually love each other, you know? They hold the door for each other. We have an evil eye. A brother step on your shoe, you damn near want to kill him. The Most High set it up, so that's a curse by God for not keeping his commandments. Go ahead, continue on.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And we was gonna be evil toward our woman. That's why you got young men on videos. They throwing the money on the woman. She's twerking her, you know, she's shaking all that. That's being evil toward your woman. That's why we be damn abusive to our woman. Most I said them evil toward our woman. And what else?
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And we was gonna be known. The so-called black man was gonna be known for leading his kids. That's why we don't grow with a father. We don't know who our pops is. We wonder when pops gonna come home. I didn't grow with my father. I didn't grow with my father. This brother, he didn't go with his father. Did you grow with your father? Yeah. Yeah. That's a blessing. For the majority of us, we don't grow with our father. We don't know who dad is. We don't know where he at. He had us and he did. You know. Yeah. He might come around sometimes. We barely know him, but that's a curse by God, and we go through that. For the majority of our people, we go through that. That's a curse. Let's get you one more. 68.
Deuteronomy 68. Deuteronomy 28.
Now, do you know anything about, like, you say you don't really know, but how did the African Americans get here to America? No, no. All right. Well, we got here on slave ships, cargo slave ships. That's how we got here. Right? Let's read that.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So the Most High say He gonna bring us into Egypt again. What was the Israelites doing in ancient Egypt? They were slaves. They was building pyramids in ancient Egypt. The Lord is telling them again, in the process of time, I'm gonna bring you back into Egypt again, or slavery again. But how this time?
With ships.
With ships. So we're going to slavery on slave ships. That's how the African Americans, the majority of us, we got over here. Some of us are actually here already, but the majority of us, we came on cargo slave ships from the west coast of Africa. We came on slave ships. Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
And we wasn't going to see our homeland again. We wasn't going to go back to Africa or go back to Israel again. Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And when you got them slave ships, you will be sold unto your enemies. We were sold to the so-called white man. They sold us on auction blocks, and you can look these things up. These things actually happen. Go ahead.
For bondmen and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you.
For slave man and slave woman, and no man shall buy you or redeem you. No one's going to redeem us from this captivity or this slavery that we're in. But we're still in captivity to this very day. We still slaves to this very day. That some of our people think that we're free, but we're not free. We're still enslaved, and the only way to get out of this condition that we're in, because it's no coincidence that we just live The way we live. We're smart. Why can't we get the same college opportunities as the other people? Why we just can't get a job somehow? We applying, we doing all the right thing, we trying to follow the right steps, but it's something that we can't seem to prosper. It's because the Most High God's under these curses. And if you don't come back to the Most High God, we're gonna stay oppressed. We're gonna stay damn. Our relationship's never gonna work somehow. You're gonna go through it. You're gonna continue to go through it until you come back to God.
You all right about that? You all right about that?
One more, brother. Two more.
Deuteronomy 28 and 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoil evermore, and no man shall save thee.
And the Most High said we're gonna be only oppressed. We're gonna only go through stress. We're only gonna be stressing. Because everything we cook, like even like you go to you have a cookout with your family, it's always something. It's always some type of drama. It's always some type of damn pain. Somebody always dying. The Most High said we're gonna be only oppressed and we'll never prosper in our ways. That's why we try to start a business or something like that. Something just seems it never goes to plan. How can we just start businesses? So you got a few of us that do start businesses, but for the majority of us, we just can't seem to prosper. Because the Most High God put us under these curses, man. There's no way around it, brother. Again, brother, we the Israelites. There's no way around it, brother. We the Israelites.